On this episode of Behind the Sanctuary, we're going to be going and having some tours around Ta'iri and Jethro's enclosures. We've been doing a bit of upgrading over the last couple of weeks and they've got some nice new platforms and walkways to explore. Let's go and have a look at them now. Ta'iri's getting on a little bit in years, so we just wanted to make sure that he could get everywhere within the enclosure, get up onto all his platforms and make sure that all the walkways were still suitable for him, and the enclosure was just looking a little bit generally tired, so we thought we'd give it a nice neat up. Walking over this way is his first platform, and this basically links up to a lot of the other platforms, and our favourite platform, and hopefully his favourite one, is one at the very top of the enclosure, and that's about 12 feet up. So we're really hoping that once he finds it, he's yet to go on it from what we understand, once he finds it, he's going to love sitting up there. He's a bit of a nosy boy, so we're hopefully going to hope he sits up there and we'll look out over the whole sanctuary. Just coming this way, for any of our regular visitors, you'll know that his favourite platform has always been at the very front, in front of the windows. But this platform was pretty small and he couldn't sit on it too well. So he's now got a lovely new platform, which you guys are still going to be able to view him on, so don't you worry. And he's actually been up here a lot of the time, spread eagled out and absolutely loving the sunshine that we've been having over the last few days as well. So Ta'iri is a really shy cat, so what we did want to make sure is that he still had a lot of cover in here just to make sure he could hide away if he wanted to. So some of his platforms are really out in the open, so he can sit out in the open in the sunshine, while some of them are kind of hidden up amongst the trees, so he's got loads of option. We have, however, taken down some of the trees because it was far too overgrown in here, and that's given him a lot more floor space, and it's also meant that we've got space for walkways. A lot of his walkways before were just absolutely covered in trees and he couldn't really walk along them. So yeah, it's kind of opened everything up to allow him to kind of climb up into the trees a lot easier as well. One thing we really did want to do is just to make sure that the enclosure looked really natural for us and for Ta'iri. So a lot of the wood we've been using has this lovely bark texture, which makes it look really nice, and that's all actually recycled wood from one of the local tree surgeons. It's kind of wood that he didn't really want, so we've been able to use that for Ta'iri's platforms as well. Ta'iri's also got a lovely new outdoor shelter. These are really important. It means that if we're ever having to clean his beds out in the rain, he's got somewhere to come and shelter from. It also means that, you know, he's got options for sleeping outside and inside. So we're now in Ta'iri's off-show enclosure, which is really important for him because Ta'iri, being a shy cat, he does like to come back here and just chill out away from the windows round at the front. So it's a little bit less naturalistic because it doesn't need to be, no one ever really sees back here. But Ta'iri's favourite platform in particular is the one up in the corner. He loves sitting up there and watching all the sheep, which are just in the field behind us. That's his favourite thing to do. This enclosure is also really helpful for if we ever need to do work in the enclosure. So for example, when we've been doing his on-show side and upgrading that, he still had access out here, which meant that he didn't have to be shut in his dens for long periods of time as well. So having two enclosures for one cat is just really helpful in giving us a bit of wriggle room, really. We've just seen Ta'iri's enclosure, so we're going to head on around the corner and then see Jethro's as well. So there's been a couple of really big changes made to Jethro's enclosure inside and out because he's actually got a brand new house. So it's just a lot bigger and a lot better. It's basically like a 4-bedroom house for him now, and he's actually currently sat in bed, so we'll actually get some CCTV footage of him sat in there for you guys. So we're going to leave him tucked up in bed and we're going to go and have a look around outside. Come on in. Jethro, being a palace cat, is quite small, and therefore the smaller the cat, generally the more shy they are. And Jethro in particular is a very shy palace cat. So again, it's really bushy in here. There's loads and loads of outside nest boxes, so he's got plenty of places to hide away in if he wants to. And he's also got two very big kind of bedrooms as well, which he can hide away into. Equally, a lot of his platforms are up high because most small cats feel more comfortable when they are up high as well. So again, we wanted to make this enclosure really naturalistic, so we've been using the same type of wood to help with all the platforms and making them look natural, but actually a lot of the walkways have come over from trees cut down over by Project Line. So instead of shredding all the trees up, we've repurposed them into new walkways for Jethro. So another thing we really want to do in this enclosure is to make it all a bit more keeper accessible, especially the taller members of the team in his last enclosure really struggled with getting around without bumping their heads. So we've made sure that all the walkways and platforms are placed in a way that we can still get around easily as well. So Jethro's actually just come up to join us, and he's actually sitting right at the top there on one of his corner platforms. So far it seems to be his favourite one. It's up high, which he always loves, but he can also see over into Cara's enclosure, who's actually being very nosy and watching us as we go as well. So something else we've also installed into Jethro's enclosure is just new crate. So like with Bacau, whenever we need to take them to the vet, Bacau's actually trained for hand injections via the station. We're hoping that we can train Jethro to walk into this crate, so if we ever do need to take him to the vet, he's a happy chappy in his crate. So that was the inside of Ta'iri and Jethro's enclosure. We're really looking forward to seeing how they enjoy their platforms and which ones are their favourite. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.